Honestly, like the thing that I'm most interested in actually across all of the work that I've done is like, how do people think of themselves in historical time? How do people situate themselves as part of lineages, as part of practices, traditions, whether they be practices of resistance or traditions of order and maintenance and status quo? Like, how do people use what they think the past was in order to organize their political commitments and their political projects in the present? And so, you know, a thing that is very striking to me about this moment of far-right resurgence that does very clearly track onto the Spanish right in the 1930s and the kind of ideological bases of what becomes the Franco regime is this sort of, you know, resurgent Christian nationalism that very openly harkens back to the Reconquest, to the Crusades, to the, you know, triumph of the Christian kingdoms of central Spain over the Muslim caliphate of Al-Andalus and the final expulsion of Muslims and Jews from Spain in 1492, and this sort of revival of the mythology of Christopher Columbus. This is something that we see both in the kind of Trump universe in the United States, but also very much, you know, one of the first October 12th, which is the anniversary of Columbus accidentally washing up in the Bahamas, the first October 12th in which Milei was president, he put out this just like truly hilarious, you know, kind of AI slop video, basically imagining himself aboard the Santa Maria as it's sailing across the Atlantic Ocean to discover and bring God and civilization to the barbaric, you know, heathen new world or whatever. And that kind of projective, affective identification with the forces of Christian conquest is something that was essential to Franco's consolidation of power in Spain. It is something that we see certainly all over the contemporary Spanish-speaking right, but we also see it in like the tattoos on Pete Hegseth, which quite explicitly say we are going to do a new Christian crusades all over the world in order to destroy the infidels. And that is a way of situating oneself in historical time and of recruiting a certain vision of the past in order to serve the needs of the present that I think is extremely dangerous, but has proven itself to have a lot of staying power.